On the previous 2 days in Mark's account, Jesus has entered the city to the acclaims of royalty by the crowds. He has overturned the tables in the temple, and He has accused those who were running the temple of turning what should have been a house of prayer into a den of thieves. Now, at the end of Mark 11, Mark records that the religious leaders, threatened by Jesus' actions and by His popularity with the crowds, challenged Jesus' authority, His right to do what He had been doing in Jerusalem. "Where did you get the permission to do that?" they asked. Jesus responded with a question of His own. Where did John get the permission for his baptism? From heaven or from men? Now, in answering that question, they would have answered their own question because John pointed to Jesus as the one upon whom people were to believe. But they weren't interested in truth. And so they reasoned among themselves, if we say from heaven, then He will say, then why didn't you listen to Him? And if we say from men, then the crowds will be upset because they regarded John as a prophet. So they said, we can't tell. The supposed religious experts couldn't tell whether or not a baptism was authorized from heaven or from men. You see, they were not interested in truth. They were more concerned about the difficult consequences of the answer. But they did understand authority. They did understand that if something was from heaven, then it was binding and they were obligated to obey it. And that if something was from men, then it had no binding authority whatsoever and could be disregarded. Now, because they were not willing to honestly evaluate the evidence regarding Jesus' authority, Jesus wasn't interested in playing their games. So He said, neither will I tell you where I get my authority. But Jesus' question about John's baptism, where did it come from heaven or from men, is an important question to ask about all of our religious practices. You see, if something's in the Scriptures, it's from heaven and thus approved by the Lord, and we are bound to obey that. But if it's not authorized by the Scriptures, then the only other option is that it's from men, and we need to disregard it.